So let's start on section 7.12, command line arguments and variable length argument lists. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, that would help. Yeah, that would help. Let's see here. So do you remember when we had to memorize public static void main string array args? And that was the header for the main method. Well, the parameters is that string array args. So the parameters to the main method is a string array called args. This is something that actually you can change. You don't have to call the string array args. You could call it like anything you want, but args is just what has conventionally been used. So here's a class called command line demo. Here's the header for the main method. And what we can say about that string array args is that command line arguments are stored to it. So string array args stores the command line arguments. So we can, in the main method, refer to args just like any array. We can loop through its contents with a loop like this, print I equals 0. I is less than args.length I plus plus. We can print out each of the elements that are really the arguments given at the command line. And we can even print out how many elements were given, allowing for variable length argument lists. To do that, let's refer to the length field that any array has, and in this case the array is args. So there are args.length arguments or elements in the array. Okay. So a short class, but a punchy class nonetheless. Let's go ahead and compile this in NetBeans and run it from the command line. So this is the part, yeah, if you would follow along, then one, it's just a cool thing to do and know how to do, and two, it'll be kind of an experiment about the campus computers and whether they have the right permissions. So let's make a new project, and we can call it anything. Let's call it command line demo. And I'll just paste what we had from before. Oh, whoops, I put a hung parentheses there. And now here's the trick. So I guess kind of two things before the trick. Actually, let's move the class to the correct folder. And then let's go ahead and see where the class path is, meaning once this compiles, where is that .class file? And if you remember, .java files get compiled into .class bytecode files. And so let's find the class path, meaning where on our computer that .class file is. Yeah, press. Oh, sorry. Oh, yep, good call. Yeah, we don't just want to print out, 0, 1, 2, 3 for all the arguments, right? We want to print out what they were. Good call. And it's a string array, so we should be able to put in strings and print them out. Yeah, whereas before, right, that change wouldn't have printed out strings. Yeah, that's a great point. And yeah, so did everyone follow that? Kind of just a little mistake here. So really we want to print out what's in the args array. So let's use args at position I. We don't just want to print out I. Okay, so if we save this and then right-click command line demo, we can run it from NetBeans, but it's kind of boring. There are 0 elements in the array. Instead, let's go ahead and right-click command line demo.java and look for the class path by selecting properties when you right-click. Now, go ahead and click the 3 dots to the right of the runtime class path. A path is just a location on the computer, and so this is telling us that .class file, it's in this directory, meaning really just a folder. It's in C, users, mine is set to Alex J, documents, NetBeans projects, projs, command line demo, build classes. So go ahead and select that. Oh, it's really hard to see. Let me zoom in. Make sure you select the class path. And copy it. Just hit Control-C. Now let's go over to our command prompt. And to do that, just go ahead and hit the Start menu and search for command prompt, or you could type in CMD, or you could type in command, anything to pull up this command prompt. But before you just go ahead and click it, try right-clicking it and selecting Run as Administrator. So do we have that options on the school computer? No. Oh yeah. Okay. Cool. Awesome. Okay. That's good. That's good. Okay. Cool. So make sure to run it as an administrator. So otherwise you'll get access denied. So let's go run as administrator for our command prompt here. And then let's go yes if you see that message. And then the command prompt is awesome. It's super useful. And one very common command is CD, which stands for current directory. A directory is just a folder, and current directory will mean to navigate to that specific folder. Yeah. No, we won't need it for the homework. But maybe for a final project, you might want to do something. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's not. Yeah, I'm curious. So yeah, you might see something different where I see C Windows System 32. You might see something different here, but then to the right of the greater than sign, just type in this command, which is cd and then a space, and then in quotes, paste that class path and hit enter. If you don't see an error message, that's a good thing. It means what you did worked. If you see an error message, that's the sign that it didn't work. So this is telling us now our current directory is where the class path was. Another useful command that let's use right now is dir, which lists the contents of a directory. So let's go ahead and hit dir and let's see what we see. Well, one of the files in this directory is command-line demo.class. So our bytecode's in here. Oh yeah, so we're setting up to run our program from the command line. And one nice thing is then we don't have to rely on the IDE to run it for us. And this is a more maybe like an advanced or sophisticated way, yeah, of running Java programs. But is maybe overkill for like working on a project. Then probably using the IDE is it just depends, I guess. But more likely, well, I guess it depends, yeah. All right. So in Mac, by the way, the command is ls for dir. Okay, cool. CD is the same. All right. So next up, let's go ahead and let's change our current directory. So now we know where our bytecode is, our .class file. Let's change our directory to just C. Just this, really it's called the root directory, C. So if you just go cd space C : / then now you should see to the left of that greater than sign, just C : /. So now we're in the root directory. Yeah, capital C. Good call. Good call. And from the root directory, let's see what's in there. There should be a folder called program files. So if you type in dir and hit enter, you should see a directory called program files. Does everyone see that? Does anyone not see it? Oh, yeah, dir. dir. Yeah. And that'll give us a list of the contents of the C or root directory. Yeah. How's that going? Do you see program files in there? Cool, awesome, nice. So then next step, go ahead and change your current directory to program files. And I'm going to put quotes around it because it has a space. So cd space program files, and then that'll take us to the program files directory. here, hopefully, we have a folder called Java. So if we type in dir again, we have a Java directory. So now our command to get into that directory is going to be cd space Java. And we can see what's in there. There should be a directory called JDK. Might be different depending on the version you have, but something like this, JDK something something, JDK 1.8.0 underscore 121. I'm just going to copy that because I'm sure that I will mess it up if I try to type it in. So I'm just going to go CD and I'm just going to paste that JDK 1.8.0 underscore 121. And here, luckily, we don't have to go too much farther down. If we type in dir, we should see a program called Java dot, well, yeah, two programs. One, oh, actually, sorry, not yet. We do have to go farther down. We have to go into bin. So let's cd into bin. We should see a directory called bin, and then let's cd into it. Sorry, let me repeat that last. So in the last folder, if you type dir, then you should see bin. So anyway, it's just the same process, but now let's go ahead and cd into bin. So here's our full kind of path that we have so far. And now, hopefully, Java c.exe is one of the programs in here, which is a program that's used to compile Java programs. And java.exe, which is the program that's used to run Java programs. So here's java c.exe, the compiler, and java.exe, the way to actually run compiled Java code. So what we want to do is we want to get our .class file into this directory so that it's in the same directory as Java, the Java program, and then we can just run it from that directory. So it's going to take some kind of digging, but what we want to do, we want to copy something somewhere. We want to copy, and I'm just going to take this whole directory with the bin and put it second, in quotes, and I'm going to put our class, well, you know, the path to our .class file in the first set of quotes. So let's find that. It was kind of way up here. We go look for where our command line demo.class was. It was up here in this directory, C. For me, it was C users, AlexJ documents, NetBeans project. It'll be something kind of like that, probably for yours if you're doing this with NetBeans. So I'm just going to copy this whole directory where our, you know, it's our class path, so where our class is. Yeah, where our class file is. And now let's do the copying. So let's copy, geez. Copy that class file. Better zoom out too. Let's try to fit this in one line. And I'll kind of pause on this for a little bit so we can all type in the command. What that is. And let's see here. Magnifier. So that's room. And then let's put it back in. So our whole command, now this is kind of getting a little long but and awkward maybe, but copy, we want to copy, and then let's put in the thing we want to copy, which is our .class file from the class path. So it was called command line demo.class. And then let's put where we want to copy it to, which is C program files, Java, JDK, 1.8.0/121. That'll be kind of like the second directory. So the full command is copy, and then the full file name that we want to copy, which is our .class file. And then the directory we want to copy it into. So that was the bin directory that we had found. So far, so good? Or anyone still working on this? Makes sense? Okay, cool, awesome. And I'll hit enter. Let's see what happens. Hopefully we were able to copy the files. Okay, one file copied. Okay, that's good. So actually, yeah, I said if you don't see an error message, that's true, but that's only generally true. Actually, one file copied, that's good. That's good news. All right. Now, if we type in dir again, and we're in bin, let's make sure that we see our .class file, which is command line demo.class. Command line demo.class looks like on April 4th, which is today at this time, yeah, we have it here. So that's good. Does everyone see command line demo.class in their bin? No. Oh, the times, that tells you when it's either when it was created or modified. I don't know what this is showing us. But I think it might be, I'm not sure, yeah, maybe modified. But yeah, well, let's try to find what's going on. It looks like maybe it's just something minor. Yeah, sure. How's that going? Does anyone else have any questions? We might not be able to get some, but okay. So the last thing is let's go ahead and run this. So the command to run a program, you just type the program name, so it's Java is the program, and our class is called command line demo. Don't type in .class, kind of weird, but just don't type in .class, just leave that off. And then let's hit enter. So we didn't put in any arguments, so this first run, we'll see there are 0 elements in the array. To put in the arguments, just type them in, right, one after the other. And those will then be the elements in the string array called args. Okay, so any questions about that? Okay. So that's it for today. Feel free to play around with it and experiment more with the command line. It's super useful and kind of awesome and kind of fun. Okay. So have a good rest of your day and see you next week on Monday.